Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all check this out. Hey, Demetrius Andrade fighting. I know this should probably be a Demetrius Andrade channel probably, or a Negro League fighter channel. Hey, but it is what it is. Demetrius Andrade's fighting this week, right? Just did a video, maybe about 12 hours ago about Demetrius Andrade, right? But I'm just checking out the interviews that Demetrius Andrade is giving this week, and he's just telling the truth. And it's really funny to me because I know it's cringeworthy for the people that are interviewing him that know these things and have to keep hearing him tell the truth, right? And it's really very telling. And the truth, what I mean is, for those who constantly always say to Demetrius Andrade, who has he fought? He's made wrong business decisions and all that old BS that we know is BS, right? He's telling you, I was signed at DAZN because that's where everyone was who meant somebody. If it's Canelo Alvarez, the so-called best fighter we had at the particular time, if it was Gennady Golovkin, the best middleweight that we've had for the last 25 years, let people tell it. If it was my mandatory Jaime Munguia, who I just said in the last video was about 36-0 with 35 knockouts and still got training wheels on. And even Billy Joe Saunders, who I don't really mention that much, right? But Billy Joe Saunders, when he was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade, was doped, right? And this is what's so telling. This is why Canelo, when I even hear anybody say Canelo is really top 10 pound for pound, I think it's egregious. Canelo fought Billy Joe Saunders instead of Andrade also, right? When you're looking at, Andrade and Billy Joe was supposed to fight, Billy Joe was doped, right? So he, was canceled out. Nobody could fight Andrade. Then, after that, 2 separate times in the internet, he's done something where he had some a homeless lady do a lewd act on somebody, and then something else he did in the airplane when it was during the COVID times. I mean, really ridiculous kind of things. People that just want attention. But he was suspended separately, not the dope suspension, another suspension. And Canelo fights the doped guy and the suspended guy 2 times. Instead of Demetrius Andrade, not to mention the money he was going to get for fighting Demetrius Andrade. Somebody wrote in the comment section, there was only one comment there, and he wrote, I heard that Demetrius Andrade offered Canelo or whoever, somebody, DAZN offered Canelo $40 million to fight Demetrius Andrade, and he didn't do it. Yes, that's true. That's another thing. Not only the $40 million, but the fact that you're going to be undisputed in the middleweight division, not the super middleweight. Right? So you got to understand this, right? Canelo went on to say, forget the middleweight division, which is a glamour division, super middleweight, whatever, right? Then you go up to fight, in the super middleweight division. You ask to fight Yildirim. You get Callum Smith for the WBA title. They give you the WBC title instead of making you fight David Benavidez. And then he goes and fights Billy Joe Saunders, right? Instead of saying, Billy Joe, you and Andrade have to get that figured out first. I got the winner for that title. No, he's very happy that it was Billy Joe Saunders. You see what I'm saying? Same thing what he's about to do now by fighting John Ryder. It's like, hey, everybody was involved in this. Look, Zach Parker and Demetrius Andrade, don't nobody put a bid up. Nobody put a bid up with no millions on it. We're going to offer these boys $185,000 between 2 of them. Probably the longest reigning middleweight champion is Demetrius Andrade, well, not I could say middleweight, but longest reigning WBO champion, 154 and 160. We're going to offer him less than $1 million. We're going to offer them $185,000 between Demetrius Andrade and Zach Parker, so he don't fight that fight, right? He gonna get an attitude and leave, that we can slip in John Ryder and let them fight and pretend like Zach Parker's hand is broke, right? Sounds pessimistic, doesn't it? This is boxing. This is what goes on all the time. It's not pessimistic. It's just paying a damn attention. That's why I was able to tell you that it's going to be John Ryder. John Ryder, and I'll keep saying it, he did not beat Danny Jacobs. They robbed Danny Jacobs. And why? Because of the Canelo thing. So you guys keep playing the game. I'm just glad that Demetrius Andrade is constantly out here saying these things and telling just the truth. Anybody wants to prove him wrong, try. Anybody going for Canelo to still be the so-called best fighter, then something is wrong with you. This is the guy, Demetrius Andrade. Don't even matter what happens this weekend. I don't even care. Demetrius Andrade don't have to win another fight or nothing. I lived through this avoiding or ducking, for some people say, from the best fighters that the middleweight division has to offer for 10 years now. And I don't really care about the others, right? It's Demetrius Andrade and the rest, right? And as far as, it's not like Devin Haney in lightweight, but I'm just saying when it comes to Demetrius Andrade, Jaime Munguia, Canelo Alvarez, and Gennady Golovkin, it's the rest of them. There's no way that they should be able to get away with the behavior that they've had. And the zone, I'm looking at them sideways too, because the zone could have just straight up just told on these people, and then we'd have Demetrius Andrade with the belts waiting to fight anybody, and we probably would have some damn clarity, and we wouldn't have no fake 160-pound undisputed guy, right? Because that's what it is. We have a lineal champ at 168 pounds, and that's David Benavidez. But no one is trying to tell Canelo to fight David Benavidez like they were telling Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder to fight Tyson Fury because he was lineal. When Tyson Fury was out there lineal, everybody was talking about it. David Benavidez is the same thing. Ain't nobody talking about it. Speaking of which, WBA is consolidating all their belts in every division. Forget these regular champions and all that. Every division they're trying to do that, except for the one where Canelo is, because they don't want Canelo to have to deal with David Morrell. And David Morrell is probably one of the longest reigning WBA regular champions there is. So this kind of ridiculousness is what I ain't playing. And I ain't going to sit up here and talk about other people. Demetrius Andrade, straight the hell up. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.